what's up adventurers? Welcome to another video. If you're new here, glad to have you. I'm Janae, and today I'll be listing 5 things I wish I knew before I moved to China. Number 1, don't come to China. Okay, intro. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is VPN. Now, a VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. Essentially, a VPN gives you encrypted hidden access to otherwise blocked websites such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and most importantly, Google. So this protects you from anyone such as the government or prying hackers that are trying to get into your personal information and data. Without a VPN, a foreigner simply just could not survive. Before coming to China, I recommend that you buy ExpressVPN. If you come to China without buying a VPN first, like me, you'll have no way to contact your family and friends back home because upon arrival, you'll get into the airport and you'll have Wi-Fi, so you will receive all those notifications from Facebook, from Instagram, whatever, but you can't respond because you don't have a VPN. So that's the frustrating thing. You can receive all the notifications, but you just can't respond. Unless your family or friends all have iPhones and can iMessage, then that works with Wi-Fi. But so when I first arrived to China, I didn't have a VPN, and automatically I was freaking out because I'd been in the airport for a few hours and I couldn't contact my family. So don't do what I did. Number 2, know your company. If you've thought about coming to China to work here as an English teacher, I suggest you watch YouTube videos for advice from one teacher to another. Learn as much information as you can. Learn from other YouTube videos. Learn how much you should be making. Know what your policy is for sick leave. Know what your policy is for holiday leave. Know that you could be deducted $15 out of your month's salary for being late for only 30 minutes when that's not even how much you would even make in 30 minutes of your regular work time. So understand your contract, because that is another thing that I wish I knew before I moved to China, because I got scammed and I don't want that to happen to you too. Unfortunately, a lot of Chinese ESL companies are very desperate to have you, so they will do what they can to get you, because you're literally just their backbone for that country, or you're just literally their backbone for that school, for that boss who's making way more money than he's paying you for the amount of work that you're doing. And it's stressful enough because you're in another country, new language, and this isn't for everyone, okay? So disclaimer for any Chinese people who are watching this, for other ESL teachers who just had a really great experience in China, okay? I just want to say that this has been my personal experience in a smaller town, in a smaller district of a big, ginormous city, because that's another thing I wasn't warned about. Do your research about your location, because I was told that I would be placed in Qingdao. So Qingdao, when you look it up on a map, it's a big city. Now, I didn't know it has 10 districts. I didn't know that I would be put in Laixi, which is just a very, very small, like, outskirts, town of Qingdao. It's not foreign friendly. There's no foreigners. I mean, there's no Starbucks. But, living here has been pretty peaceful. It's not been as chaotic as, living in, like, Shinan district or Shibei. But that's another thing, is that the recruiter knew that I would be coming to Laixi, but he decided not to tell me that. Why? I don't know. So it's not like every company is horrible. It just also depends on their morals and how much they really actually want to tell you the truth. Those who get frustrated the quickest are the ones who most likely didn't do their research. Yeah, me being one of them. You know why my recruiter didn't tell me that I would be in like the outskirts of the big city? Because he knew that I wouldn't come. If he told me, hey, you're gonna be in like the boringest place in Qingdao, will you still come here to work for less than what you could make in America? Of course they're going to do that. But, you know, still, even though it happened, I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful for this experience, and I love my kids. My kids that I teach in the school. I really would not like life if I didn't have them. But those of you who do know, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here in China. I will be leaving to the Philippines, and I will miss those kids that I get to teach so much. Number 3, Chinese drivers. I believe when it all started, it's not the Chinese fault that they drive so horribly. China fails to enforce driving regulations. Policemen fail to correct a Chinese bad driving habit or behavior, and nothing changes. In modern times, China has corrected bad behavior with paying heavy fines, and this is by traffic cameras. China installed many traffic cameras in order to catch bad driving behavior like speeding. So if you're speeding, the police will snap a photo of your license plate and they'll fine you. Speeding isn't the only thing they will fine you for. If your car is past the white line, or of course, even if you run a red, you'll get a fine in the mail probably the next week. Whether it be driving the wrong way on a one-way knowingly, parked alongside a curb facing the wrong direction, cutting someone off, or anything like roadblocks, is most likely not their fault. Blame bad driving regulations. China needs to work on enforcing the traffic rules. The problem is that it's not immediate. There's no one there to immediately punish the wrong driver. Just like when you are correcting the wrong behavior of an animal. So when you have a puppy and it pees all over your living room floor, if you choose to correct that behavior a day later, the dog's gonna have no idea what it did wrong because it was so late. So if you corrected it immediately, it can have a chance to try to change. And I mean, I get it, like, why not do the wrong thing if no one's looking? Why not go the wrong way on a highway if no one's going to enforce the rules anyway? I'm not saying that all Chinese drivers are horrible. I'm not saying that I hate you all or anything. I'm just stating what I've been through and like what I've experienced with Chinese drivers. There's some kind of strange phenomenon as to why Chinese drivers just can't look to the right of them when they're wanting to turn into a parking lot or whatever. So if you're a scooter, you know, you're driving in your bike lane. You don't drive in the car lane. For those of you who aren't living in China, yeah, you can drive a scooter in the bike lane. Okay. So here you are driving, and here's this guy driving his car in his lane, and he sees a bakery and is like, dog, I want to go get some bread in that freaking bakery, and here's where I gotta turn. It's just gonna go. It's just so dangerous because we can just literally smash right into you, and we have to slam so hard on our brakes. And please, disclaimer again, this has happened to me in America as well. It's just a little more dangerous here because we're all on scooters, and I mean, if you smash into us, it's a lot worse than if we were in a car. Chinese drivers are obsessed with honking. No one is perfect. You will find good people. That's what China's like. I feel one of the main reasons Chinese people use that is for power. You can't honk your horn for little things to tell drivers like, hey yo, I'm here, I'm right next to you, what's up, honk my horn, because that's literally what Chinese drivers do. It's a form of just letting them know that, hey, I'm here, hey, I'm gonna continue driving, and for power. Number 4, difficulty to transfer money back home. If you don't have a well-known bank, be prepared to ask friends and family back home who do have a well-known bank if you can transfer your money to them. The problem with having a small bank is that they don't have SWIFT codes. A SWIFT code is an international bank code that identifies particular banks worldwide. And finding out your SWIFT code is simple. You can just go to Google and type in your bank name, and you can even type in its location, and you can just say, what's my SWIFT code? So this is how I found out that my bank doesn't have a SWIFT code, because it's too small. So without a SWIFT code, you might think, well, there's another option, right? You can just type in your routing number. But usually when you're going to these apps like Jiffubao, which is Alipay, if you want to use Alipay, you can have your coworker or your Chinese friend use their account, right? You would send your money from your WeChat to them, and they would go to their Jiffubao, they would go to their Alipay, and they would type in your account number and the SWIFT code. There's no routing number option, so you just can't do that. You have to have a SWIFT code. So if you don't have a well-known bank and that doesn't have a SWIFT code, then you can't use it. And with that app, there's only certain banks. So that's also why I bring up that if you have a small bank, it just won't work. You need like Chase, Wells Fargo, the big like China Bank or whatever, the US Bank. So when I want to buy plane tickets going back home, there's huge problems. I can't use Western Union, and I can't use my American bank card to buy anything online, like plane tickets, because all my money is going to my Chinese bank account. And then you might ask, why can't you use your Chinese Visa card? Well, American websites don't allow anything Chinese, like UnionPay, which is what I have, is not allowed. You can't send money from China to America. So essentially, you can't buy that plane ticket like on Expedia from your US Visa, because all your month's salary that you get is going to your Chinese bank account. And you can't buy it with your Chinese Visa card because the websites don't allow that kind of Visa card whatsoever. You can't use Western Pay. You can't just do direct bank from like your Chinese direct bank to your American bank account. You can't do that because well, I can't do that for one, because I have a smaller Chinese bank, and I have a small, not well-known American bank, so it just doesn't work. I used to have a recruiter who is working with this company, and he lived in America, so he used to have PayPal, but he quit, so he was my means of getting money back to my American bank account. So here's what I would do. I would send my money from WeChat to his WeChat, and he would take that and go to the bank, and he would do all his things, and basically he would then send the money, US dollars, to my PayPal account, and I would PayPal my money into my American bank account, and then I would use that American money to buy my plane ticket and have money when I'd go back to the US. It is such a difficult and long process. So have a big, well-known bank that can be used internationally, globally, all around the world before you come to China. Number 5, cosmetics and toiletries. So if you're a girl, it's a little bit difficult living here in China. Some of the cosmetics, like mascara, that I would use here is one, it's difficult to read. You can't read the Chinese characters, so you don't know the products that are being used inside the mascaras, the shampoos, the conditioners, the face washes, the soaps. You don't know what ingredients are being used in it. So you don't know how much it's harming your body, like, at all. So that kind of sucks. Another thing is that the deodorant here is not like the deodorant in America. You can't just get your stick-on deodorant kind. They only have roll-ons. If you are a girl who loves mascara, buy that too before you come to China, because the mascara here, like CoverGirl or whatever, is more pricey than it would be in America. In America, I believe, if I remember correctly, it would be like $8 or something like that, or less, $7 maybe. But here in China, it's like, it can get up to $15, 16 US dollars. So I really recommend that you would buy your cosmetics and your toiletries in America, stock up on it, and then, you know, come to China. Yeah, if you still decide to come to China after this video. But I still suggest you do. There's a lot of beautiful places to go, and I have not yet seen that I am crazy in love with and want to go see. You know, we have the Great Wall of China here. There's the Forbidden Palace. They have many nature, beautiful scenic routes that you can take up mountains, hiking trails, the beautiful cherry blossoms. And since it's springtime, right now, I totally recommend that you come. This is just a beautiful time to be here in China. Alright guys, thanks for watching. It was so fun to have you here and listening to the 5 things I wish I knew before I moved to China. I don't know if you agree with all of them or if you got mad at me for saying what I said. Like I said, disclaimer to you Chinese people or other ESL teachers or anyone else who might be offended. This was just my personal experience. Comment down below what you think. Thanks for watching. Hope you can like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!